Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I'm in the outskirts of the huge Marburg Botanic Garden in Germany. And like most botanic gardens, this has an area where all the soil and trash and other things go. And those areas are of course quite interesting in every garden for foraging, because you find nice and rare and neglected and abandoned stuff. But in a botanic garden, it's even more interesting. So let's see what we can forage here, but let's be extremely careful, because in such places, well, in a botanic garden, there will be many plants I cannot identify, and some of them can be toxic and dangerous. Let's see. Let's start with this yellow mustard here. With mustards, the good thing is they are all poisonous. The mustardy stuff is the poisonous one. Actually, this one is quite mild. Good vegetable, almost no mustard taste. Lamb's quarters. In this case, even the mustard is even milder than the super mild lamb's quarters. Stinging nettle. You should destroy the stingers before you eat it, otherwise you're gonna get hurt. Well, this could be deadly hemlock, so we stay away from it. Here's some boraginaceae. Most of them are edible. Very spiny leaves. Burdock. Burdock is also supposed to be edible. Is it really burdock when it's so bitter? Okay, we stay away from this. This is some datura. Here is the boraginaceae, some symphytum. Not sure which one. Let's see what we have here. A lot of amaranth up there, but right now I'm too lazy to climb. Amaranth also has edible leaves and seeds. Nicanda physiolodes. The Germans call this poison berry. The Chinese, of course the Chinese, use it for food. They don't eat it directly. They soak the seeds with water and then create a type of jelly. Here we have black nightshade, or a closely related nightshade. Actually, I'm planning to make some spinach from black nightshade. It produces a bitter spinach-like vegetable, which a lot of African cultures cherish a lot. Let's see what we have here. More different lamb's quarters, and this should be all the Chenopodium awum AGG, but you never know. Here another black nightshade with very thick, very winged stems. The gardeners are checking on us, but fortunately we have a permit to be here. Purslane. Yeah, very tasty vegetable. Another very tasty green. Could this be the real chamomile? Oh yeah, this is true chamomile. It's quite common in the Marburg area. The first indicator is the strong smell. The other one are the hollow flower heads. Wonderful. In the Heidelberg area where I live, chamomile is not common, but here in Marburg it is wonderful stuff. In the Heidelberg area, false chamomile are more common. Here's some hibiscus. This could be kenaf. Kenaf is being used for fibers mostly, but also for edible fruits and seeds and flowers and leaves. Yeah, very spiny. The taste is okay, but the experience was still not enjoyable. Galinzoga. This is supposed to be edible, but I don't have a lot of experience with it. I don't like the flavor too much. In the, was it the 30 Years' War or the 7 Years' War? In some of those wars, the Germans said that the French are spreading this plant in Germany, and so they named it the French wheat. The French were innocent, at least of this one. Interesting. This is some plantago, some plantain, but look at it. The leaves are very hairy. This must be a plant that's coming from the collections. A bit too savory with a bit of even bitterness in it. A bit too. This is definitely from the collections because this is not the wild plantain around here. The poison berry is also from the collections and also the kenaf. Pretty much everything else, common weeds around here. If you want to forage a fruit, what was this called? Tlaspi? Is this tlaspi? It's a mustard. Oh, the fruits are too old and too mustardy. Lamium, it should be Lamium amplexicaule, more of a spring vegetable. Here you see the small, well, more of a spring green. And here the closely related Lamium purpureum. Yeah, both are kinda edible. So the burdock was not too enjoyable. Next to it there is a dock. However, this is not one of the edible docks. This is Rumex, most probably obtusifolios, one of the bitter docks. I don't want this. If we got here some clover. Quite good. We are in August now, so a lot of other spots would be, the plants would be too old to dry, but around here there is still lush green vegetation. Really good for foraging because it's still very young and tender. Most things which are young and tender, while still edible for humans, wouldn't be really edible for a modern human when they are old and dried up. Here next to the lamb squatters we have a close relative. This could be lamb squatters is Chenopodium album AGG. This could be what? Chenopodium murale. It should be just as edible. And somewhere here, this should be Chenopodium glaucum. When I studied in the Marburg area 20 years ago, the climate here was still too harsh for Chenopodium glaucum to be widespread. I think I found it only once in the area. Yeah, glaucum is quite tasty, but this one, not sure whether it is morale or some. Actually, no, with those strongly lobed leaves, it shouldn't be morale. Tell me which Chenopodium this could be, folks. Let's see what else we have. Some amaranth. A lot of them also have edible leaves. A bit on the sour side, but not bad. Sonchus, the Germans call this cabbage thistle because in all the times it was foraged a lot as a cabbage-like vegetable. But no, this one, despite being very lush and green and juicy, Has a bit of bitterness. For now, we haven't found a lot of extraordinary things. The Tushinopodium species would be quite rare for Marburg, but we are here at the Botanic Garden, so they're probably from the collections. Nikanda was also not too common in my time. Now we are talking business. A pumpkin. Oh, and what is this? Some other mustard. This one tastes a bit more mustardy. Now it tastes a bit too mustardy. Black locust. An invasive, every part except for the flowers is poisonous, and since this is a seedling, we discard it. But we can eat the little wood sorrel next to it. Here we have some sort of Abutilon. I think it's Abutilon theophrasti. The Chinese like to eat the fruits. I read this and then later Chinese confirmed this on my channel. But all parts of the paint seem to be edible. In the shadow we have the poisonous pokeweed. The young stems as well as the leaves are being eaten, and the ripe fruits are being used to dye. You can dye if you use them wrong, to dye wine which had turned brown. Nowadays this use is forbidden. It's illegal because too many people died from the poisonous berries, from the poisonous wine. If you detoxify them properly, the leaves and the young stems, the stem should still be edible if you detoxify it properly. But this is known as the fugu of the plant kingdom, so better stay away from it. Oh, here is nice thing. This is pretty rare in Germany. It's more common in Mediterranean areas. Hyoscyamus niger, a relative of the deadly nightshade. This is the main ingredient for the witch's cauldron. Because you want a love potion, give this to your beloved one. Not only will they have a lot of crazy fantasies, but they will also get quite defenseless. So don't give this to your beloved one. It's a highly toxic thing. You want to poison a well or kill some children? Well, that's your best bet. You want to fly around? Well, witches used to put this on the broomstick. Then they used to put the broomstick where, well, you could say where the sun doesn't shine. And then through those areas you can actually absorb a limited amount of the toxins, and then you don't die like the children or the people who drink from the wells, and you don't become a vegetable like the people who got your love potion, but you can actually, well, you fly around and have sex with monsters and stuff. You get flying fantasies, violent fantasies and sexual fantasies from the stuff. But folks, don't use this. It's a horrible toxin. A lot of people die from it. A lot of people get horrible side effects. Just don't use it. So here I wanted to go up to see the pumpkin. So here is a pumpkin plant. You can actually cook the young pumpkin stems and leaves as a vegetable. In Malaysia, I actually see different cucurbitaceae vegetable being sold just as much as cucurbitaceae fruits. But still, I would like the fruits. This channel is called All the Fruit, not All the Leaves. And this is a very leafy video. So here, pumpkin flowers, in this case a male flower. In Southern Europe, there's also a popular vegetable. The base tastes very good. The petals are a bit spiny. But I want fruits. I want literal pumpkins, but here is where the plant comes from, so I guess it's still too young for big old pumpkins. There is another pumpkin plant here and another one down there. A lot of pumpkin plants here, but no fruits, but I wouldn't mind another flower. The pumpkin flower was tasty. Well, let's continue. There are a lot more trash piles. Oh. Yeah, don't go near the toxic datura. It's gonna kill you. Ah. Well, what else do we have here? Sage. This should be Artemisia vulgaris, I would say. Nice and spicy, just use it in moderation. I really forgot the name of this Chenopodium. Tell me, folks. I don't even think it was Murale. It was one of the rare-ish ones. And here a close relative of Chenopodium. This is Atriplex. Not easy to distinguish from Chenopodium. And one of the few native plants which made it into a vegetable. Most vegetable exotic plants. Funny enough, this plant tastes like a very good egg yolk. Very interesting. What have we got here? Oh, what is this? At first, when I saw the big leaves and then parts of the yellow flowers, I thought this is a pumpkin. But no, this is something totally different. I have no idea what this is, folks. Tell me. It's beautiful. But I'm not gonna eat it because I don't know what it is. I would have expected a bit more diversity here. Here a mallow. I don't know which one it is, but all mallows I'm aware of are edible. Maybe Malva neglecta, who knows? Up there it's flowering. A donkey thistle, the thing with the like just below leaves. Not too many new things here. Here we have again some very different types of black nightshade. Still too young for the edible fruits. Look here, this one is very hairy. This is Solanum nigrum varschultesii. And here you find one which is completely naked. But both have very thick winged stems. Well, we also find here some with thin, not winged stems. Black nightshade is a very complex, but at least you know they are all edible and tasty. What else? Not many new things. I used to know the name of this thing, but I forgot it. No fruits on the black nightshade. Here we are in a much colder area than Heidelberg, and also those piles might have been turned over this year while stuff in other areas was growing. So everything is not as well developed as in other areas. This is some sort of Polygonaceae, I'm sure. some sort of sorrel relative. Yeah, it is sour. Could be a small Reinutria seedling, but around here Reinutria is usually spreading through parts of the rhizome, not through seedlings. Here another pumpkin, however, no big flowers and also no fruits. Nothing new up there. Well, still, you never can have enough purslane. Folks, never do what I'm doing now. Never walk around on random trash piles and eat random stuff. Dipsahus. This thistle was used to fluff up wool and stuff like that. Here again, a non-edible dock, a bitter dock. Stinging nettle. When you already see fruits and flowers, don't eat the leaves anymore. They seem to be toxic then and they are not tasty. Bah, but neither are the fruits, and I got so many stingers on my tongue. Oh. Here we have another burdock. This is called Arctium tomentosum, I think. A dandelion, a good salad, but I don't like it because it's too bitter. The flowers are less bitter, but no flowers on this one. So no dandelions for me right now. Anything new? A big mallow leaf here. Some people complain about eating noises. Go watch something else, folks. Here, some nice Dipsacus. As a young student, I used to find even more interesting things up here. I mean, not that it's not interesting, but here we have a slightly older pile. Unotera bienis, an invasive from North America. Every part is edible when young enough. I ate the flowers now. They are quite good and aromatic. You can eat the fruits, especially when they're full of young seeds. Yeah, tastes like wood. The seeds are quite a treat. But the biggest treat, the vegetable, which was derived from this one, is the root that you have to boil it. Here we have Erigeron annus, another horrible invasive. I think it's usable at least as tea and as a spice. Here we have St. John's wort. This is very good against winter depression because it increases the susceptibility of your skin for sunlight. Just don't use it now in summer because it will give you sunburn. What else do we have? Interesting, but I would have thought that this is more, that there would be more crazy. In this area, I used to find a lot of crazy things from the collections, but right now most are just normal weeds. Here we have the favorite plant of my assistant, the lettuce, but this is the wild lettuce, Lactuca seriola. Very bitter. A desert plant. However, people told me you can mix it with other greens as a pot herb and then it's edible. Lytrum salicaria. I don't remember uses of this thing. It is definitely useful, but I forgot for what. Yarrow, a good medicine for blood, for stomach. I think also for the heart, but don't quote me on that. And also, if you get a cut, you can put some crushed leaf on it and it will stop your bleeding. Totally forgot the name of this. This is this here is Tanacetum vulgare. It is good for repelling insects, but it also irritates your skin. So when you want to repel stuff with it, better don't touch it too closely. Here the wild carrot. You can recognize it because usually one central flower is black or red or pink while all the others are white. Here we have some red clover, tasty stuff. Right now the leaves will probably be too old, but I'm eating the flowers. And here we have white clover, but the flowers are already gone, so I guess the leaves are also too old. Here a lot of wild lettuce, a lot of different thistles, which are most real thistles are actually edible, but now in August in a dry location they would be a little bit too old. Let's get rid of the soil in my shoes. Wow. What else do we get here? Not many new things on that slope. In the background there are the pokeweed berries, but I'm not going there now. So folks, this was rummaging and foraging around those piles of Marburg Botanic Garden. The good thing is this is very fertile soil with a lot of edible weeds on it, but also a couple really toxic weeds on it. Yeah, don't forage any of this if you are not perfectly sure the stuff is good. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit and plant rich Marburg Botanic Garden. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.